I think Baker Mayfield is wise beyond his years.
Did you say he's wise beyond his years or wise behind his ears?
I said he's wise beyond his years.
Actually makes sense, because where is your brain? It's somewhere behind your ears.
I said years, okay?
Well, you're wise behind your ears, that's for sure.
Yeah, what up, homies? You know, Liam, just me butchering the English language and sayings as usual.
It's an adventure.
It's an adventure.
I think you hedged. You went behind.
Behind? I did a little double whammy there?
You just completed those two words.
Yes, I'm good at that. I have invented a Chris Simms thesaurus here. So
I'd like to compare that and reference it next to the Jeremy Roenick thesaurus.
I've heard that he is up there with me. Yes,
yeah, he takes the language on a whole wild adventure on a nightly basis.
I didn't actually study like English and things like that in school. I just kind of tried to learn it through osmosis, like listening to people.
You just feel your way through the English language.
I've watched a lot of TV and professional people speak like yourself, and I feel like I could just kind of throw it out there too. But
you're making it work as you go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously something's working. I mean, somebody's keeping me employed.
I mean, the camera's on. There's someone actually behind.
We're here, right? Yeah. All right, what up? Chris Simms Unbuttoned podcast. Look at who we have here. First off, I want to introduce my man, my partner from Notre Dame coverage on NBC, and truly my buddy, Liam McHugh. I'm glad to have you here, man.
Listen, it's great to be on. It's nice that you're doing all the work.
I feel weird, actually, with you doing the work.
Is this how easy it is on the other side, where you just sit there?
Sit back? Yeah, this is how I feel at Notre Dame. I'm just like, oh, okay, he does the heavy lifting, and I just got to talk about football? No problem.
Yeah, you wander on the field.
Yes.
Eventually, I call you over. You got to sit down and do something. Listen, you're easier to find on the field than Flutie.
Okay, good.
He's just like running around and playing catch with people like 5 minutes before kickoff.
Well, yes, right.
I think this is nice, though. I'm like the 29th person you've had on this podcast in the past week. So
well,
I feel honored.
We have a rotating cast right now, definitely. But I am glad you're here because we have fun together on the road. I don't think people get to see your quirkiness, your deep thoughts that you have. We've had so many good conversations over the year. First, I got to tell everybody, hey, please subscribe to the podcast, okay? YouTube.com/NBC Sports. Hey, you can @ me at CSimmsQB on Twitter or @ me on Instagram at what the hell's my Instagram again? I forgot.
This is a
Simms Unbuttoned. @ Simms Unbuttoned.
Yeah.
I'm just getting used to this whole crap, so sorry.
Well, listen, flawless so far.
Yes.
And you got all the plugs out of the way.
Now I'm done. I'm good. And we'll plug it again at the end. But
that's great.
Now that I've done the heavy lifting part, now I hand it over to you to drive the ship.
And now I have to entertain, basically.
Yes. You're going to
let's
drive
start with,
the ship.
let's go back to the fact, if I'm like the 29th person on the podcast this week, does that make me, in your ranking system, like the Blake Bortles of podcast guys? Is that essentially where I grade out when you look around the office and you're just picking random people to be on?
First of all, these were not my shots, okay? I don't call the shots around here.
It's
all
all your podcast.
I understand
it has your name on it.
I get to say things, but I'm not sitting here telling the bosses of NBC Sports what to do. Plus, you're kind of Bobby Big Time there, buddy. And you weren't available last week to do the third podcast of the week. So here you are in podcast number 6 joining the efforts.
Well, I wanted to see if it would make it off the ground.
The second week, if I didn't get everybody
there was a
fired.
chance that it would be canceled and I wouldn't have had to come in.
No, that's a very real possibility.
And it's unbuttoned.
Yeah.
You're not wearing
any
buttons at all, which seems off-brand.
I know, but I can't wear a button shirt every time. It's Friday, okay? Every time. Yeah, sorry.
I'm unbuttoned. A week.
I'm unbuttoned for this podcast right now. I'm unbuttoned.
You're without buttons.
Without buttons. I got a zipper. I got zippers on the side.
I feel like that's just throwing it back in people's faces.
Yeah.
You're not even with the buttons.
I'm unbuttoned and unzippered on Fridays, so let's go.
No, there's nothing creepy about that voice at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've gone through a few of these. You had a busy week.
I did. Busy week.
This was free agency frenzy.
Like, unlike any other, really.
Which it is, but it isn't, because you know what's always the same? Week after year after year after year. I can't believe blank team gave blank player that much money.
Oh.
Every single, you can't believe it?
It
happened last year. It happened the year before. It happens every single time.
No question about that. It's always these. There's two things that jump out to me. Reactions like that, where it's, I can't believe they paid this money. Holy cow, there's a lot of money being thrown around out there. Yeah, okay. Well, every year it's going to continue to grow. It's a $188 million salary cap. They're expecting it to be $200 million next year. That's the way the world works. Of course, it's inflation, whatever you want to call it. The other thing I always love is this, like with football. I mean, every team's move was 100%. Oh, great move by blah, blah, blah. This is a position they really need. I mean, did we watch anybody this week where they were a little negative on a signing about anything?
That's
I mean,
not
it's always
fix. I'm not sure it's going to work here. No.
Perfect move for this team.
It's one thing to just have this optimistic outlook, and there's hope now because you have this person. But then there's the other side of it where, like, what a move. Perfect. Fits right in.
Yeah.
Got exactly what they needed. They filled a spot. No, it doesn't always work that way.
No. And hey, Casey, what were you saying in my ear there? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you have to say it out loud now because they can't hear the producer.
Well, my producer, again, Matt Casey, who's my man. And
pro tip for you while you're hosting.
Yes.
If your producer tells you something in your ear that you're supposed to voice to the people at home, they can't hear.
Yes, well, he's saying he brought up Golden Tate, which is a very good point. Like saying, I guess he's saying there that people are wondering about that. The Giants signed him after losing Odell Beckham Jr. Hey, listen, I think this still, even just to address the Golden Tate, New York Giants, their new offensive formula going forward, the big thing is this is their new offensive formula. They are not looking for guys that can go and stretch the defense out vertically down the field, however you want to say it, because they have a quarterback that's not one of his strong suits. So they're going to go with running the football. We're building an offensive line in front of Eli Manning and Saquon Barkley. We're going to live by that. Pat Shurmur did that the year he was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings. It's going to be play action passes. Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard over the middle. Same thing with the Golden Tate, be used a similar way.
This is basically you're throwing the ball 10 yards or less.
Yeah.
You're looking at Evan Ingram. You're looking at Tate.
No doubt.
Quick screens.
Right.
I guess it's good. Listen, it's good news from this side of it that they signed somebody who can obviously catch the ball then make people miss right after.
Yes.
A little bit older.
Yep, a little bit older. I was a little surprised by the money.
Paid a good amount. It's interesting if you're going to rebuild. I guess you feel like you can compete and rebuild at the same time.
I think that's what they're doing. There's no question. There's teams that have done that, right? Teams kind of can compete and rebuild. We've seen that here in the recent history.
I feel like Saquon Barkley's got to be happy about this because the way I saw it before this signing is I looked at this team and I kept thinking Ricky Williams.
Sure.
And I kept thinking, in 5 years, what is Saquon Barkley going to look like?
Right.
Because they're going to hand this guy the football a ton, and he is going to get beaten down in this system.
Yeah.
So I guess he's the happier person about this. I mean, he couldn't have been happy about Beckham, but I guess this helps.
Well, it helps, certainly. I mean, I think the Giants did come to the realization that, okay, Saquon's every bit as special as we thought he was coming out in the draft, as special as you and I thought when we watched him at Penn State his junior year, when we were like, he's already a top 5 running back in football.
In the world, not in college football.
Right.
In
we
the
were
world
like,
right now.
Put him in the NFL. We were saying that, right? So we were ahead of the curve there.
We were. Check the tapes.
Check the tapes. Exactly right. And I think the Giants realized that. And then they realized everything off of it. He's a professional. He's a leader. He can take the mantle of being the guy on the team. You get an offensive line in front of him. Now, I will argue this. I do think in some ways Odell Beckham Jr., with this type of team and formula, could have helped out specifically as Saquon Barkley, just from this standpoint. I'm just throwing things out there for talk, conversation point. Odell does put pressure on a defense to go, wait, we can't leave our corner singled, so we got to put a safety over the top. So you do that. That takes one less guy out of the run game. Also, it's going to back the secondary up a little bit with a guy like Odell, just because you're worried about him flying over the top, and maybe that bomb does happen to where, again, that takes a little more pressure off for Saquon. But I'm sure.
Well, that's the thing. If you're game planning against the Giants, you've laid out the game plan.
Yeah.
And it's March.
Yes, no, I know.
Okay,
I know.
And to me, that's an issue.
Right.
Because if you know that this is the way the Giants are going to play and there's no deep threat and you really don't have to worry about that, well, I would think you can gear up for this team.
No, I would think you
can
could
match up. You can figure this out.
No doubt. I think they're going to go down a little bit, and I think this is I don't want to say Eli Manning is as good as Tom Brady at this point in his career, because he's not. Tom is still Tom is still
bold statements
really
on
good.
This show.
But I do think they're going to follow that mold a little bit. I know I said this during the week on Pro Football Talk. I can't even remember if I said it on the podcast on Wednesday, but yeah, I do think they're going to go, okay, let's not make it about shotgun. Eli's going to throw it 40 times a game. It's going to be run the ball down the hill, play action passes off it, and find passes in an offensive scheme that fits Eli a little bit more. I really think that'll be what they do.
All right, we're going to do this first thing that pops into your mind.
Right, okay.
About NFL free agency.
I love this because I have no idea.
Let's start right here because I feel like we've gone through it, but just give me the first thing that pops into your mind if I say the Giants' plan.
Oh, the Giants' plan is all in on Eli for at least one more year. Yeah, and I'll say this. I give credit to my dad. My dad came in on Wednesday, on the podcast on Wednesday and kind of broke it down a little bit. I know he believes the same thing. I guess the all-in part is, okay, are they going to go all in and not draft a quarterback at number 6 or 17? You know, or are they going to go, okay, we're going to one of those 6 or 17, we are going to get a quarterback and then try to fill in holes after that as well.
So you don't think the plan involves trying to leverage those picks?
I don't think so yet.
Into moving up?
No.
And potentially getting Kyler?
No. And right now, no, I don't. I don't think that's a definite. And I don't think Kyler Murray is the Giants type of quarterback. I would be really surprised if they went after Kyler Murray. Giants have prototypically been involved in the bigger pocket passing type of quarterback, whether that was my dad, Eli Manning, Kerry Collins, you go down the list.
But most teams have typically been invested in that.
Right.
And now teams have adjusted.
The league has changed, yes.
But they're not.
No, I don't think they are, because I think they want to play underneath the center and play the style of football that we talked about.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. It's shaping out right now, okay, where, you know, you look at the people in the front of the New York Giants, there's no team that needs a quarterback there. Unless the Raiders are going to, like, pull something that we just never thought of. But when you go through the top 5 and the teams that are in front of the Giants, there is no team there with a desperate need at the quarterback position right now. And we don't even know what Arizona's going to do.
It's not desperate. I'll give you that.
Yes.
But there's interest, obviously.
There
hearing
is,
about it. We're
there
about
is
right
interest.
at the top.
Hey, sure, that one right there, and I think that's all about Kyler Murray, right about. So they got to make that decision. So there's that interest there. And if there's a team that wants to trade up to get Kyler Murray, okay, that's a different thing. And I think they will go all the way to number 1 with Arizona and make them a deal that they just can't refuse. But the only thing the Giants have to worry about right now is really, does Jacksonville want to do this? I would say no. They just signed Nick Foles, so I think they're good for right now. Maybe they find a quarterback later on in the draft. Okay. You know, the Washington Redskins, are they going to be involved in, okay, we like a Dwayne Haskins or a Drew Lock? Maybe they would try to get involved somehow. The Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, sure.
So that's another team. So I just look at it right now and go, the Giants are sitting pretty at number 6 as far as the quarterback conversation. And I just wonder if they'll even think the number 6 pick is worth Dwayne Haskins or Drew Lock when all's said and done. I still think that's iffy at this point, too. And I know a week ago I thought all these guys might go in the top 10 and things like that. But I got to say, after reassessing free agency and things like that, I'm not so sure about that now.
But again, that could change.
It could change.
And we've seen that in the past.
Yes, we did.
And we've seen, really, in many ways, it just takes one.
It just takes one.
Dominoes,
and then it all goes all over the place.
We have to get ours.
We have to get up, right.
Okay, we're going to go on to other topics.
Yeah.
Before we do that, though, I was curious because we were talking about tattoos before and potentially regrettable tattoos.
Yes.
Do you think Beckham has a Giants tattoo? Because you played in the league, you have tattoos.
Yeah.
You don't have one for that's
No, anything
NFL
to do with my
reference.
NFL teams. No, I got a Longhorn, which was, you know, yes. I mean, I think if I was going to get one, maybe I would get a Tampa Bay Buccaneers one, but I didn't have enough of a fruitful career, I think, to justify any type of tattoo with an NFL team on me. They were important parts of my life, certainly.
Yes.
That's a good question. I would think he somewhere has an NY.
Something, right? Yeah.
Something. It's hard. He has a whole lot of tattoos, so we'd probably have to really inspect his body, and I'm not going to volunteer for that job. So,
I thought that was maybe next podcast. Technically, it fits the unbuttoned theme.
It would.
It really does.
It really does. And I consider myself a professional looker of men or naked men or their bodies. Yes, I do. Sorry, that's part of scouting.
A professional looker.
Yes.
Yes. You need a business card with that on it.
A professional naked body scouter, Chris Simms on the Unbuttoned podcast.
There's really nothing you can say when the police come and arrest you afterwards. You're like, well, it's on the business card.
Well, it's on the business card.
I'm a professional here.
I'm a professional. I look at legs and ass for a living on men to see how good they are at running and jumping and how powerful they are. Deal with it, okay?
You're completely comfortable with it.
I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. And we're looking forward to the peacock from NBC being tattooed on your person. At what point?
If I could stay here at NBC and get around that 10-year mark, Okay.
And we're calling this year 3?
They're calling this year 3, a rough year 3 right around there. So 7 more years.
It is worth it at this point.
I would think about it. I would think of it, especially if my contracts continued to go up and I made more money.
You didn't say anything about more money.
I'm throwing it out. I didn't want to give you all my bonus before we started.
Oh, no.
But if everything continued, I mean, if I'm still working in NBC in 7 years and they got me in the back closet somewhere, I might not feel as fond for them, and I might be like, screw the tattoo of NBC.
By the way, you weren't going to give us all of your what before?
What did I say?
I don't know.
All my bullets, I think I said.
Okay.
Right. Like, I didn't want to say, I didn't want to have the podcast before we started the podcast.
I gotcha.
Got it?
All right.
Save it for the podcast, Liam.
Okay, yeah. Save it for the big show. Well, listen, 7 years.
Yeah.
All right.
7 years.
All right, mark it down now.
You want to go to the
Let's go
tattoo
to the next
parlor with me?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, 7 years from now.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
You're getting a tattoo, though, if you're there.
Fine.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting a peacock tattoo,
Okay.
but if I'm, you know what? Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see, and especially if you've worked out the money situation. Okay, let's stay with a similar one.
Okay.
And your response when I say Baker to Beckham.
Oh my gosh! Like, I think of Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. I guess that would be where I'd go. This has a chance to be one of the special combinations in all of football. I mean, hey, listen, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Steve Young, Jerry Rice. I think this has the potential to be that type of special thing for years and years to come. Baker Mayfield, first of all, has an aggressive mindset. You and I both know that, whether we watched Oklahoma games together or last year at Cleveland. He's not looking to throw the check down or bubble screens to the receivers. He's looking to strike fear into defenses. I appreciate that mindset about him. And he is just a phenomenal thrower of the football, anything 10, 15 plus yards down the field, that's where Odell's left so many yards and plays on the field. And I really think that's a big part of his frustration the last few years, is because he's going, damn, I'm open a lot and I could change the game if somebody would just hang in the pocket or throw the ball to me accurately down the field. Eli was one of the worst in football at throwing the ball accurately down the field. Baker's one of the best.
See, isn't that the beauty, though?
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback and you are aggressive like Baker, I mean, let's take you, for example. If you're the quarterback, the feeling is you don't have to throw the ball that accurately if you're throwing to him?
Yeah, no question. Like, you think if I was underneath the center, okay, and I'm breaking the huddle and I got Odell Beckham Jr. on my team, I mean, okay, I'm going to look at the things you got to look to as a quarterback. You look at the defensive front. Are they going to blitz me? But the next thing after that I'm looking at is going, okay, what's the coverage in Odell? And anytime he is one-on-one and has a route that is going to go downfield, a post, a go route, whatever it may be, I can feel comfortable, okay, set hut, read his release off the line of scrimmage, and from there, whether he beats the guy with pure speed, okay, I can launch it deep and he's going to run and go get it. Okay, if the guy bails and all of a sudden you go, oh, he's not going to beat him deep. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr., as we know, his ability to catch back shoulder passes, 50-50 jump balls, it's as good as anybody we've ever seen.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
You see these amazing catches. Amazing catches are not occurring because the ball was put in the exact right spot.
No.
It's put in a terrible spot often, and he goes and gets it, and he makes something happen that you didn't think was possible. So, I mean, you're talking about a quarterback with, an insane amount of confidence.
Oh, my gosh, insane.
And now you double down on that.
Yes, you do.
Because the feeling is I can put it just anywhere in his vicinity, and he's going to go and get it.
It's amazing. And to your point with your saying, when you see the highlights of Odell, it is a lot of that. I always argue this, and I sound like an Antonio Brown hater at times, but it's not about being a hater. I just look at it and go, look at Antonio Brown's highlights, and every highlight you see is the ball's on the money, he never breaks stride. And then we show a highlight package on TV of Odell Beckham Jr., and it's one-handed catch jump. Yep. It's a slant route that he breaks 4 tackles and outruns everybody for a 70-yard touchdown, where I go, no, that's him making the play, which is impressive. The other thing, too, and I think this, just to your point with Cleveland and Baker Mayfield and all that, I just think the NFL has caught on. This is the new thing. You go through year one and you realize, okay, we got a quarterback here. We just drafted him. He's the real deal. I think we're seeing the NFL is changing its tune. Go all in. Why these quarterbacks are on their rookie deal, because we don't have to pay them $25 million a year. I really think you can look at Seattle. They might have started the trend with Russell Wilson. That allowed them to pay the Richard Shermans, the Bobby Wagners, all the money to keep that team together for 5-6 years to where they were extremely relevant. Hey, the Philadelphia Eagles with Carson Wentz, they did it. You're seeing the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes doing it as we speak.
And it's more than just a select few guys now that are coming to the league and can play. play.
Yes.
And I think that's the other thing. It's not like, oh, once in a while we have a guy
it's
come
a
in,
different
so you can do
league
it now.
You're right, exactly. We're seeing stars come out in the draft every year at the quarterback position because football is so overwhelming, the most popular sport in America. Kids are growing up going, I want to be Aaron Rodgers. I want to be Tom Brady, and that's what their focus is on. And then they play football their whole life and no other sport, and they're coming in the NFL ready to play and ready to ball out.
All right, next one. Let's go to the Jets. $25 million guaranteed to Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Your response?
My response to that is, and do we know that's the exact number right now? Are you sure it's 25 or not 35? I'm challenging you right now.
You're challenging me now.
I'm going to look. I'm going to make sure.
I was in the meeting with the aforementioned Matt Casey.
Oh, well, yes.
We agreed on that.
Did we agreed on that? Okay. I'm just going to make sure.
He's very quiet
He's
right
in.
now.
Yeah, he's. Oh, no, but you were right. You're right.
Am I right?
Well
nice,
done.
Thank
well
you.
done. How dare you host the show?
I thought I was going to get fired from this show that I'm not really on during the first episode.
Either way, it's lower because it was first reported at $35 million. Okay. Yep. Either way, he played the safe guaranteed card. That's what he did, and he comes out on top. It might not be the number everybody loved. Okay, as far as he didn't get $17 million a year. He didn't get $40 million guaranteed. Okay, great. That's great. But he's still coming out on top with a guaranteed of $25 million, which I would expect really he sees more than that when all's said and done. I would be shocked if Le'Veon Bell doesn't have a good first year or two of his career to then justify years 3 and 4 of his contract with the New York Jets as well. But hey, it's running back. We've talked about this a lot. It's the most physical position in all of sports. I don't care. Heavyweight boxer doesn't get hit like an NFL running back does. It's brutal. And he said, okay, yeah, I could have got $14 million last year. But he also could have tore his knee up and never saw anything similar to those kind of that money ever again. He just said, you know what? I'll scrap the 14. I'm going to play the guarantee. I'm going to get something significantly more after that and make sure I stay healthy and capitalized, and I have no issue with that.
Well, and you're also suggesting that down the line, a few years from now, he'll still be earning money in his contract and actually out there earning it.
Yes.
And potentially, then maybe there's more money to come.
No question.
Do you believe that about Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah.
Does he strike you as the type of guy who now has gotten this guaranteed deal, gotten what he wanted?
Yeah.
Does he still go out there and achieve? Is he that type of guy?
He is that type of guy. I've been around him before. First of all, he's a really good human being. Like, I like Le'Veon Bell, the person. And I know from people I know in Pittsburgh, he's loved. The players loved him. He was never a distraction in the locker room, anything like that. Yeah, he made a business decision last year. It wasn't off the field or locker room turmoil. It was nothing like that. So he did what was best for him, and that's the way the NFL is set up. I do worry about this. He was big in college.
Yep.
And he came to the Steelers, and they made him lose weight. I do worry, and we've heard rumors that he might have got heavy this season as well. And I just hope he didn't get too far out of shape to where we're still getting in shape week 5 and 6 of the NFL season here, and he's not hitting on all cylinders from get-go. So I hope that at least he's been staying active and somewhat in shape to
he was
be
big
ready
back
to go and ready to
in
roll. He was a real big back.
But he was a big, effective back.
He was.
It is amazing how different.
I know.
He looks and he plays.
Yeah, he shed 20-something pounds, and he became noticeably quicker. I think that's what really helped him out doing that.
How much better are the Jets?
Oh, gosh. I think the Jets are going to be a team. I'm not going to say they're going to the playoffs, but I expect them to be that 7-9. It's week 14, and if they can win the last 3 games of the year, they might get in the playoffs. I think they're going to be that type of team. I don't think the roster was as far off as people thought it was.
Okay.
I think Gase adds toughness to the offense. I think Greg Williams adds toughness to the defense, and they've made some nice moves in free agency to this point.
Okay, next topic.
Yeah.
It's still with the Jets, though.
Yeah.
Anthony Barr spurns the Jets.
Ooh. That's that to me was just like no place like home. That's the first thing I think of. Okay. I think the Jets were intriguing, but I think Anthony Barr, the personality he is, he's kind of a quiet guy. I'm very comfortable here in Minnesota. I play for a defensive head coach who really values the position and teaches me things. And I think he also looks at Minnesota, and there were just more knowns there than maybe with the Jets. Hey, like I just said, I think the Jets will be good. I think the team's better. But the Minnesota Vikings have been a playoff team until last year and still have a lot of really quality football players to make me think that they're going to be on a playoff team or certainly in a playoff conversation once again. And I think he looks at it and goes, come on, I I got a team here, and I want to finish what we started here in Minnesota as a player.
Well, here we go. Gone but not forgotten. Notable former Jets. I'm looking forward. There's at some point there'll be a tribute video, I assume, to Anthony Barr. Beyond this, though.
Yeah, if you're watching on
quotes,
YouTube, we're showing some Bill Belichick Anthony Barr contract status with the Jets. They're 7 days. Bill Belichick with the Jets, 2 stints, 1 day as the head coach, and Anthony Barr 1 day of just possibly committing to the Jets, but didn't sign anything.
No,
and of course,
in fact,
backed out.
Some of the quotes are fantastic afterwards. It was mostly when I hung up the phone after saying, yeah, I can do New York, my stomach dropped. I kind of get some cold sweats. In general, that's not how you want your team to be viewed.
No.
As someone gets nauseous and potentially flu-like symptoms after deciding that they're going to be a part of your franchise.
Well, yeah. First of all, I was excited about him and C.J. Mosley together. That would have been amazing to see. It really would have. I guess I don't think it's personal against the Jets. I know everybody wants to bag on the Jets because we've seen this happen to them before, and it maybe even happened last year with Kirk Cousins. But I think I look at this more of just a guy who he got a feeling in his stomach like, damn, we got to think about the personal aspect, too. These are not just humans. These are not just robots who run around with a helmet and shoulder pads. He's also thinking, damn, I got to move and totally change my life. And things like that can eat in your stomach when you start to come down to it and you just go, damn, do I really want to deal with all that?
Well, he said it was like you're about to go down the altar and marry the wrong woman. So what you're saying, essentially, is that it wasn't so much that the Jets were the completely wrong woman. It was just that he realized there was a better woman that he could marry.
Very well.
So he might have been okay in that marriage.
Yeah, he might have been okay. They might have had to go see a few marriage counselors and try to continue the relationship on a positive note, real rocky road. But he decided to marry the woman. He went, man, things are pretty smooth with this girl. I can count on her, and we kind of see eye to eye.
Strictly business, strictly wins, losses. Do you think he made the right choice?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I think he made the right choice. It's just as far as the knowns are concerned. I mean, we're talking about a lot of what-ifs for the Jets right now. It's still a rookie quarterback. It's Le'Veon Bell. How is he going to be indoctrinated into the offense? I just think, yes, with Minnesota, there's really no flaws on that team as a whole other than they had offensive line issues last year. And if they can fix some of those this year, I expect them to be in that conversation for one of the better teams in the NFC.
And they play in one of the great stadiums.
Oh,
in the NFL.
great stadium. Their biggest thing
is beautiful.
It is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the best I've been in. And it's the thing with Minnesota, I mean, the NFC North is real deal Holyfield.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to the Bears and the Packers and some of the moves they made, you just go, whoa, okay, yeah, it's not going to be easy. And the Detroit Lions are not going to be no cupcake either.
No, that's not a pushover.
Yeah.
And on the other side, I think if you look at it from the Jets' point of view, you're looking at your division, and obviously there's New England up top. But after that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's there for the taking.
Yeah,
there's
really
nobody,
is.
There's the Miami Dolphins are in rebuild mode. I do like what the Bills are doing.
Okay.
I don't know if they're there to compete for the AFC East yet, but like the Jets, they're making the proper steps to climb the ladder to at least close the gap between them and the New England Patriots.
Right, you mentioned Miami.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next one.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Choosing life as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
When you heard that, that he was going to go back, play with the Saints, and be behind Drew Brees, who's 40.
You're right.
So, I mean, you're looking down the road. Could have gone to Miami, and you're figuring right there, you're going under center.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a starter in the NFL again.
Yep.
He chooses life as a backup.
Right.
And your response was?
My response was, I'm not so sure that's the right move. And I will say, during the week, I was a little bit more the other way, going, and, as a guy who follows the NFL, I can't always just go, the first time I hear it, this is exactly what I think. I try to be smart and self-scout myself and go.
I'm not sure if you understand the culture we live in. You're supposed to react immediately.
And never back down from that ever.
Listen.
I was never wrong in the history of my life.
And even when facts are shoved right in your face.
No, I refuse to be that.
Do not back down. Do not apologize. That's the way this works.
No, it's not the way it works on Unbuttoned because we self-scout thyself, okay? We self-scout thyself. And, yeah, as I guess I listened to this and maybe digested some of the facts of the situation altogether, I think this is what it comes down to for me. I understand what he's doing going back to New Orleans. He's going there going, okay, if I did get thrown into the fire here, I have a good team around me. I have a great offensive play caller who could set me up for success. But those are all ifs to me.
Yeah.
And you're playing the if Drew Brees gets hurt card. Now, the negative to that is you don't do anything, okay, and you sit on the bench all year again.
Yep.
And now it's basically 4 years since you've played meaningful football, which is also going to detract from your value, where teams are next year in free agency are going to go, whoa, I feel more comfortable now. It's been another year without him taking reps, so maybe we'll bring him as a starter. So I think that's where it can hurt him, Liam.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, this seemed like a strike while the iron's hot type situation.
Yes,
and
right.
he became this hot name.
He did.
Listen, he's back. He's healthy. He looks like he's effective. Everyone there loves him.
Yes,
raves
right. All
about
of that,
him.
right.
So next logical step would be that he would move on, especially if Brees is coming back.
Yes.
Brees is coming back.
Right.
I agree with you. I feel like this is the type of league where if you don't strike while the iron's hot, it passes you by quickly.
Yeah, I wonder if he doubts himself a little bit and where he's at physically. No, Week 17, when he got to play against the Carolina Panthers, it was not pretty. There's no other way to really say that. I mean, it was nothing but just average or solid. I can't take away anything I saw. But the other thing I would go from there, yes, to what you're saying, if he goes to Miami, okay, maybe they draft a quarterback at number 16. Sure, maybe he has to deal with that. But either way, he's going to get a lot of quality reps with the first team in preseason football, maybe even be the starter weeks 1 through 4. Yeah, maybe he gets benched because they finally just go, our team's not good, and we want to throw the rookie out there. But if you've done enough positive things on the field as those first 4 weeks where people can look at it and go, you know, he's healthy. He didn't play that bad. The supporting cast isn't that very. Either way, I think he could have extended his career more. Maybe as another chance to be a starter, but neither way, it would make teams go, oh, at the very least, he is a really quality backup. He played good in the preseason. He was solid in the 4 games he started the regular season in. Yeah, they lost, but it wasn't like it was Teddy Bridgewater just screwing it all up. I think that's the opportunity he maybe missed in this conversation.
Yeah, I do wonder if he just looked at the Miami Dolphins and said, this is the type of situation where I may have to carry this.
I bet that.
Right? And I'm, you know, and if it doesn't work out, where am I?
Right. Where is he?
I get that, but
he came from the Jets, who just did that to him a little bit with Sam Darnold, right? So he's probably going, gosh, are they going to draft a quarterback and now I'm going to
But you would hope the scouting would be a little bit deeper than that.
Yes.
You can see the things that he did, what was stacked up against him, and be able to make a better decision than that.
Exactly right.
You would
exactly
hope.
Right. Yes.
I mean, but who knows? All right. So let's get back to your guy, the pillow. Right here.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Don't put your butt on Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, it's sorry about that.
How dare you do that?
Sacrilege here.
Yes.
That your singing voice has
it's improved.
No, not at all. But you sang like that on football night.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know if the boss
loved it. Excellent. I was on site. I don't remember what game it was.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there watching it.
It was the New England Packers game.
And you were about 2 notes into that, and I was like, oh, this is a mid-show phone call that you're gonna get from the boss.
I got it. The boss was like, nobody understands you're singing about that on Football Night in America. So you got to kind of grow as far as your appearances on there and growing the audience to understand those kind of inside jokes.
All right, so you go this week. You're Aaron Rodgers. Your mood is what?
I think your mood is, hey, we improved the football team. I do. I understand that people might go, oh, yeah, you dropped the ball. They could have got Antonio Brown or something like that. Okay. I mean, hey, it's young coaches who are dealing with – everybody's talking about, hey, they're going to have to deal with Aaron Rodgers. Oh, gosh, we would have thrown Antonio Brown on the top of that. You know, I don't know. Hey, I would have loved to have seen that, but I understand the Green Bay Packers not kind of flirting with that idea. But I think the big thing is for Aaron Rodgers, where he's going to go, is going to go, damn, okay. It's not going to always have to be about me having to make a fourth quarter just miracles happen for us to win the game. Maybe our defense will actually be able to make some plays and stop some teams. I thought Green Bay had one of the better under-the-radar weeks, just as far as guys like Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith on the edge of that Mike Pettin defense, which is very Rex Ryan-ish. I think that is the perfect fit as far as the type of players. Yeah, they're not superstars. They're not going to get 15 sacks a year, but they have no weakness to their game. They can play D-end or outside linebacker, whether you want to play 4-3 or 3-4. And Adrian Amos as a safety is one of the better safeties in football. So I look at it from that aspect, and I go, man, okay, upgraded the secondary, upgraded the front seven. Yeah, I'd like to see them add a weapon or two on offense for Aaron Rodgers.
That's my concern. I mean, with him, listen, I think he wants to win ultimately, and I think they make some moves that certainly help his team. You mentioned the division, which I think it's fairly stacked.
It is.
At this point. Extremely competitive every single game in that division. And I don't know where you'd rate him. I think I got him penciled in at third right now in that division.
I would, as far as full roster talent, yeah, I would probably say they're third as well.
So and full roster talent. That means to me other dynamic weapons on offense outside of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And that's where if I'm him, and it doesn't have to. I mean, I get it. Antonio Brown was the big fish.
Right. Le'Veon Bell, there was talk that maybe they get involved in it. I mean, I think he certainly would have fit what they want to do in the offense. Yes, would I love to see Green Bay add another weapon to Aaron Rodgers to make his life a little easier? Yes. Davante Adams is a really good receiver. Is he a superstar receiver? No, he is not. He is not the kind of receiver where teams play the Green Bay Packers and go, oh my gosh, if we don't double him and take him away, we are screwed. No, Davante Adams is really good. Mm-hmm. If they show favoritism towards him in certain situations, it's more because they know Aaron Rodgers wants to go to him in big situations to where they just try to take him away from that standpoint. But teams are not afraid to put their best corners on Davante Adams. And I do think they need some sort of difference maker just to take the pressure off Rodgers again at times to where it's not always about him making magic happen. That's where, I get frustrated with that as a fan of his.
I mean, frustrated enough that you're not going to sing about him anymore?
No, of course not.
He's
still the best quarterback in football. And I know people push back. My own son's been pushing back at me lately. He's going, Patrick Mahomes is better, Dad. And
is he hitting that age? He's pushing back?
He's pushing back. Yeah. And I'm like, how dare you? Get out of the house.
What team does he cheer for?
Now?
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns.
That was quick.
He went from the Giants to, as soon as I told him Odell had been traded, he literally came downstairs in his Baker Mayfield jersey and he said, Dad, I think I'm going to root for the Browns this year.
Well, he had one ready.
Yeah,
that's great.
He had it ready. He was ready. So, yeah, he's all in on the Browns.
All right, last one here.
Okay.
J.P. Lossman, 38-year-old blue chip prospect for the league.
Right.
Your response?
Crazy, I guess is what I wanted. My mind went right to here. Okay, J.P. Lossman, I know a little bit about the guy. He can throw the ball. He's down there at Clemson working as a coach where it's my understanding he's not being paid. He's just contributing to the team overall. But for that to be talked about, listen, there's so many things that went through my head here. And this is not an indictment on J.P. Lossman. Like, I think he's a guy that's got a future to be a coach in the NFL somewhere, and I think that's where he's trying to go.
Well, that's nice. You get all the good things out of the way.
Right.
Now bury him.
Well, I don't want to bury him. I want to bury almost the NFL and the evaluation. Oh, yeah, let's bring J.P. Lossman back at age 38, but let's not talk about Colin Kaepernick or any of those other type of guys who might be more relevant and capable of playing right now. That's where my mind went when I read that story. Like, oh, yeah, let's give J.P. Lossman, he's been on the sidelines coaching college kids. Let's give him a chance. You want to come back and try to play in the NFL at 38? But then there's a Colin Kaepernick out there who's, it's crickets from the NFL as far as anybody wanted to talk to him.
Okay, he's 38.
Yeah.
He wasn't very good at 28.
Exactly, right.
Okay?
Right.
Really wasn't.
Right.
You don't get better.
Definitely
by getting older and not playing. In any sport.
No.
Really in any field.
Right.
You don't get better.
Right.
To me, what bothered me about this is that right now, especially we see with the Giants, you have a lot of GMs and front office types standing in front of reporters, be it at a podium or a media scrum, and basically saying, trust me, I've got a plan.
Right.
We have a plan as an organization. And they're all saying that. It's essentially the trust the process mantra, right?
Yes.
We've got a plan. Okay? Someone is saying that, and someone else in their organization is down there going, J.P. Lossman. There's no way that you can have both. You can't have a plan and have the idea that this guy could come in and be a quarterback for your team.
No. This is just throwing darts at a dartboard. It's just going, wow, look at him spin that ball. He's just standing there throwing the ball. First of all, it's not like he's dropping back or has any pressure on him to hit routes. He was throwing to DBs, I believe.
We complain about
wide
actual college quarterbacks at pro days.
and what they're doing.
Yeah, not
that
real
drop's not
workouts.
good. That's exactly right. I understand that. You're right. And we talk about just totally, I don't want to, what do I want to say? Not micromanaging, but these deep dives into every person we scout or as a free agent quarterback. He doesn't do this well. He does this well. Oh, he's got to fix this. And here we go, 38-year-old guy who hasn't played football in 7 years. We're going to go, hey, he deserves a shot. Let's get him back out there.
I can still spin it out there, right?
Hey, the NFL, again, I'll say this a million times. There is a lot of people with great business cards that got a fancy NFL emblem on there and a really awesome, nice team logo on there who just don't know crap. I don't care. That's just part of the problem.
But none of them have business cards like yours that say, what was it?
The professional naked man looker?
Yes.
That's right. No, none of them have that.
None of them.
That takes me to another level.
It does. It does. Okay, let's look ahead.
Yeah.
Weekends here.
Yep.
Things you're looking forward to. I'm certainly looking forward to more of the Zion show because he is back. He came back in a big way. 13 of 13 from the field against Syracuse.
Yeah.
Throwing dunks down on everyone. What do you have? 14 rebounds. Guys are trying to take his legs out. Someone's trying to trip him.
Right.
He doesn't react to anything. But he is a full beast out there. And he's one of these people that you love in sports because it doesn't make sense.
No.
Because someone that big should not be able to do the things that he does.
Right.
Obviously. He's 285 pounds. Looks heavier than that.
Yeah. No, he does.
But
You're
the way he moves is incredible.
Right.
And because of that, you can't take your eyes off.
No, you can't. Because you're sitting there going, man, it's like Myles Garrett with an Allen Iverson crossover. Like, what the hell is going on here? He's an NFL defensive end. But I'm all in on you with that right there. That I tuned in last night.
Yep.
I haven't even watched college basketball this year, but I knew Zion was coming back. One, I wanted to see what kind of shoes he was wearing.
Yep. Well, that's a big part of the show.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And two, I mean, can't miss entertainment. I mean, he's one of the freakiest athletes we have ever seen on planet Earth. Like, they just don't make people like this. He is in the LeBron James category of freaks of nature, and it was awesome to see. I mean, first of all, Nike getting him he wore Kyrie Irving sneakers instead of the Paul George sneakers, which I would vouch for. I'm very in on the Kyrie sneakers.
Yes, but
they're
not
phenomenal.
to mention, you'd have to make a switch if you're him.
Yes.
You have to.
Right.
There's no way you could.
Right. No way you couldn't. You're right. You're not going to wear the same shoe.
But yeah,
you feel like hers.
sneaker folks are in the building. They're making sure everything's okay with them.
Well,
course.
I wondered with like the NCAA and the rules like that when I heard that story where the Nike sent people down to the school to make a custom version of the Kyrie Irvings, and then Nike flew to China to make sure the shoes were made properly and everything like that. I guess that doesn't break any NCAA violations
so
there.
You were confused by like the NCAA and why certain people are getting paid and other people who are basically the reason that you would attend a game.
Right, or watch last night.
Yeah,
right.
They're not getting anything. You're confused by that?
I know, you're right. I shouldn't be confused.
I mean,
I should.
One of these days they're really going to figure that out. No, there's no way. Listen, that's a whole other disaster and another headache, and it'd be another hour of podcasting if we were going to just talk about that. But
what does he do right now? Putting you on the spot. He's going to be in the NBA draft in 3 months.
Yep.
What shoes is he going to be wearing?
I think it winds up being Nike.
You think Nike's going to blow him out of the water?
And I think they'll make him an offer he can't refuse.
Right.
Yeah. I do. Do you not?
I don't know. I mean, I figure it's going to be Adidas or Nike, and yeah, I do think at the end of the day, if you made me just take one, I'm going to go yes.
If it's not Nike, the ad campaign though, is it basically we're just not Nike?
I think so.
It has to be.
I think
right?
so.
It essentially has to be like our shoes are stable.
Our shoes.
It doesn't even have to be like
our
anything
shoes are Zion proof.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I think that would be the part of the pitch, no doubt.
But here's the other thing about him. He was one of these guys, and he was an internet phenomenon, right? Where you saw him in high school, and he was throwing windmill dunks and 360 dunks, and obviously he looked so much bigger than everyone out there in high school because he was just so much bigger. But here he gets to college ball. He's playing big time college ball in the ACC, and the thought was, well, listen, you go against Syracuse in their zone, and you have guys 6'10", 6'11". He's not going to be able to do this. He's not going to be able to do this. He bullied those guys. Bullied them. He's 18 years old, and it was like watching. Honestly, at times when he's down the block and he's rebounding, it felt like you were watching a varsity guy play against a JV guy because he was just subtly pushing people out of the way and getting the ball, dunking on guys bigger than him.
Another level.
Yeah, so, I mean, it feels like, and there'll be the people who say, well, it's not going to happen in the NBA.
Yeah, right.
No, why? Why won't it?
Why? Some of those guys in Syracuse are going to be big men in the NBA.
Yep.
I mean, they're 7 feet tall. One of my favorite parts of the game last night was listening to Jay Billis talk, because I felt like he couldn't even announce the game at some points because he was like, oh my gosh, what an amazing rebound. Holy cow.
And that's the thing about him, he's always so composed.
Yes.
He's cerebral.
Right.
But no, like, he could not contain his excitement.
Yeah.
And it's understandable.
Yeah.
And I think, you go back to Kyler Murray, and I feel like that's one of the fun things about him. Because in many ways it's a similar situation where you look at him and it doesn't make sense.
Does not make sense.
It does not make sense. It does not fit with what you believe and what you have been taught over the years to see as the person who is successful at this position.
Right.
And now you see a guy 5'10", maybe, depending on who you ask.
Right.
And he's out there, and he's just making people look silly.
Yeah.
And he's putting the ball on a dime downfield. It's incredible. And I think there's similarities there where, like, as a sports fan, as someone who views it, it's so electrifying to be around and to watch, because it just doesn't make sense right away.
It doesn't make sense. It's special. It's one of those things where you just watch and you go, I don't know why, but it just seems more amazing than everybody else. And because it is more amazing. It's simple as that. Yeah, Kyler Murray's pro day I thought was off the charts good. I mean, off the charts good. It's old world thinking to still think, oh, we need a quarterback who's 6'4", 230 pounds, and, can just stand. The league has changed. Yeah, there's some teams that still want to play that way, but you don't have to play that way this day and age. And with Kyler Murray, hey, the first thing is this. The NFL's changed because offenses have exposed defenses to spread out more horizontally, right? You got the read option. So, okay, that stretches defense out sideline to sideline. Then the RPO game does the same thing. There's bigger lanes to pass through. There's just different ways to skin the cat, for lack of a better phrase, at the quarterback position, or design offensive plays than it was in the 80s or 90s, where it was just, hey, we got a fullback in there. We're going to play smash mouth, and everything's condensed into this small little area. No, the game is more spread out to most teams in the NFL, and he's got a lot of reps of playing quarterback and used to being the smaller guy on the field, and out of the fact that he is a freak of nature. And Liam, his throwing from the pocket and everything he did at the pro day the other day, I mean, that was a great workout.
Does it bother you, as someone who's prototypical quarterback size, that, like, you're not special now anymore?
You like that, don't
I
you?
do. I kind of like the fact that, like, you hit the genetic lottery, and you're right there, and you're built to play quarterback, and now they're saying, you know what, there are different ways to do this.
Yeah, no, I actually enjoy it. I really do. I do. I think, again, I think guys were being missed or slipping through the cracks because of that, to a degree, where, Aaron Rodgers isn't exactly prototypical either. He's 6'2", 220 pounds, not, Tom Brady, that kind of build and stature, or Peyton Manning. He was a little different, but no, it does not bother me. I think the game has changed, and I'd like to just see guys who deserve it and have the talent kind of get what they deserve that way, whether it was Russell Wilson, Baker, Drew Brees. They can play. I don't give a damn what their size is or what it is. I just keep watching games and go, damn, they're good, and they make their teams win a lot.
See, I think it bothers me more as a guy who's 5'10".
Yeah, right.
Because I have kids, and now I can't just tell them that they can't do this because they're not big enough.
Yeah, no, there's other things that come into play.
I have to be honest with them. I'd be like, you just don't have any talent.
You don't have a strong arm. Your vertical's not that good, son.
You're not very good.
You can't get out of the blocks in the 40.
Listen,
sorry.
Let me level with you. Your height's not a problem. You have no leadership skills whatsoever, so it's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Now you have to be honest. I don't like that at all. All right, so you have Zion's return, but of course right after that you have Selection Sunday, and then we're right into the madness.
Yeah, and I try to act like I have a clue.
And that's the whole deal.
Yeah,
like you try to pretend like, this team, they got an up-and-coming coach. He's going to be coaching the big time. So,
I'm cool.
Next year. Yeah, exactly. So, but yet you get a bracket.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still do a bracket at this point?
I do. I do a bracket every year.
At what point during the bracket do you lose patience and you just start, like, because you think about it for like 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, yeah, this team could be. I think I saw them. I've heard of this guy.
Yeah.
But at what point you're just like, just fill it out? Already.
When, no, I fill it out. I go through it. I try to act like I've listened to college basketball for 3 days now. I actually think I have.
You know what's going on.
Right.
Sure.
I don't give up. I still believe in it, and I always write answer key on top of the bracket until then I start to realize that my wife is beating me. Yeah. And then I start to go, oh, crap, I don't know anything. We're in the Sweet 16, and her bracket's way better than mine. She picked off a mascot.
You pick Texas no matter what to make a run?
No, I don't.
No?
Okay. I try to go, logically have sense, and I don't think Texas is going to get in this year. So
that makes it easier on you.
Texas sports right now. I'm just not very pleased with it.
They can't all be University of Buffalo.
Oh, well, it's
big-time athletics, very special.
Very special,
nationally ranked team.
Yeah.
Going to make a run.
Yeah, great,
exactly.
Sure. Yeah, you guys are in it, right?
Oh, it's a lock.
Great.
We're in at large, even if they don't win the MAC tournament. Yeah.
You
don't seem as happy about it.
I'm not. I mean, because schools like crappy-ass Buffalo are sending out more people in the NFL draft lately than the University of Texas, which pisses me off about my old school.
Well, listen, my little boy was walking around with his Khalil Mack shirt on yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, all pumped up about it. Why not?
He should be.
Yeah. Big quarterback out of Buffalo.
I know. I don't know about that one, and I'm not done evaluating him. I've kind of only done it a little bit.
Got the size. Again, got the old school size.
Old school size. I think that day and age, the 6'7" quarterback and all that, yes, I know he ran a good 40 at that, but it's about short area quickness at quarterback. It's about shuffling around in the pocket. I do think he's almost too big, too long, too deliberate that way.
Yeah, he's a really big man.
And I don't think the throwing is top-notch enough for me to sit there and go, oh, okay, this guy is legit. I think he is a guy that somebody takes a chance on to see, did we hit gold? Maybe we can make him into something. And then if not, he gets moved to tight end or H-back or something like that down the line.
All right, well, let's bring it back to the brackets because I lose patience.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, years ago, and I'll admit, I'll go through it and I'll try to be analytical, and then I'm like, the hell with this. And I'll go with my heart. If Buffalo's in it, they're at least winning 2 games. Let's just make that happen. And then at that point, I'll try to be realistic that, they're not going to the Final Four.
Right.
But when I was a kid, my dad went to St. John's, huge Big East basketball fan. And so every year he'd basically pick teams in the Final Four that were Big East teams. And, of course, one year, Georgetown, Villanova, and St. John's went to the Final Four. Villanova was the Cinderella story that year. He won his pool. Now, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Every single year since then, he has gone with that exact same formula.
Right.
I'm beyond it. There is no formula that works. I don't know what I'm doing, so I look at other pools now. I like the idea of a survivor pool.
Okay.
I like the idea of picking teams, and then you can't pick them the next day
if
you survive to the next round.
Right.
I also like the idea of this gunner pool, where you draft, and this is difficult too, because you got to research, you got to put some time into it, but you pick 5 players, essentially.
Right.
And the most points at the end of the tournament wins.
Right.
Now, that's interesting because often,
you get screwed over and somebody gets knocked out in the first round, you're in trouble.
Get upset, or if you decide, hey, this,
So we might have to draft
this
more
guy
than
from
5
the MAC
players,
who
or no?
scores 21 a game is a guy that I could pick in there, but they're out in round 1.
Right. Okay. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we draft 10 guys.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I know 10 guys in college basketball right now. But either way, we do something like that. I'm down for that if you want to do that. I mean, we should do a bracket for sure, just to compare, where we'll figure out a point system just to figure out just old school bracket. But I like kind of the 5-player draft or 10-player draft, the fantasy total points thing. That's like a golf master's
and
pool.
I think
I kind of like that.
At this point, you're not picking anyone who's probably like a double-digit seed.
No.
At this point, you can't.
Definitely not.
But
I'm going to listen to Jay Billis and go from there.
Yeah. That's fine.
What I'm doing.
But you do have to do a little research for that one.
I know. I know. How dare you? I don't have things to do.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, now I've given you a homework assignment.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's great having you on.
No,
when do we have the other host on again?
Please let us both know. All right, so we got the NCAA tournament. We'll look at that.
Yeah.
We'll be able to revisit it potentially if I'm on this show again. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, so give you something this weekend that you don't think a lot of people are maybe looking forward to, but that you are looking forward to sports-wise?
Oh, well, I got my eye on Tiger a little. Okay. Other than Zion, where that certainly is the Zion Williamson and, hey, the Big East tournament, things like that. I love to watch the conference tournaments. I think my eye on Tiger in golf to see if he's going to continue a upward trend. I know he had to sit out a few weeks ago again because of injuries and things like that. To see if he can be a legitimate player here for the Masters in a few weeks. I think that's one thing that I will certainly be keeping my eye on, other than just the big basketball games.
Yeah, it's funny, all right, because so much happening this weekend. Obviously, the week leading up was all NFL, and then you're right into conference tournaments and Selection Sunday, and it's weird. I mean, because like if Tiger gets going, despite everything else that happens, he'll dominate.
Yes.
He'll dominate everyone's attention.
The news will be all about him.
Just the way it works.
Yep.
I'll look at this.
Yeah.
There's a tremendous boxing event taking place in Arlington. All right. There's a great card. It's Errol Spence Jr. against Mikey Garcia.
Right.
2 undefeated champions. They're fighting at welterweight. It's boxing. So inherently, at this point, it's under the radar.
Yeah.
But you have a guy in Errol Spence Jr. who is from Arlington. Mm-hmm. He's now fighting at Jerry World on a pay-per-view event.
Right.
On the other side, though, Mikey Garcia is a great champ who's going up. He's going up.
Yeah, right.
You go up 2 weight classes. And so there's this idea that for Errol Spence Jr., it's a no-win situation because you should win.
Yeah.
You should beat a guy who's smaller than you. For Mikey Garcia, it's like if you just basically survive,
you're going to be
really good.
Right.
Have you been to a live boxing match?
I have. It is.
Yeah?
It's one of those things where it's awesome and brutal all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you sit close and you go, well, this is awesome, but oh man, that really looked like it hurt. And you start to look at people's nose get broken, and it can be gory.
It's an adrenaline rush.
It is.
It's a different atmosphere than any other sporting event.
No doubt.
But you're right. There are those moments there where
you go,
goes from
gosh, I'm watching a human getting beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. And you're just basically hoping.
You cringe a little. I had this experience at a UFC fight. I go to a UFC fight a few years ago. The wife is sitting next to me, and the first fight I'm watching, these guys are throwing just absolute blows. One guy's nose is on the side of his face. I mean, I'm like, I can't watch. I'm like this. And I look at my wife, and I go, oh, I don't know if I could take this. And I look at her, and she was like, this is awesome. And she was all in on it. But yes, to your point, I mean, when you sit, especially if you sit up close or get a really good feel to where you can feel the punches, oh my gosh, I don't know how those guys do it.
No, and I've been at a number of matches, and listen, they're all unique. But
I'm going to watch that fight.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm definitely
I really do.
watch.
I think it's got a chance to be
Good call
electric.
on that one.
I think Errol Spence Jr. is, and I've seen him in person. I've seen him live a number of times. I mean, he has the ability to really just carve people up. I'm very excited for it, but at the same time, you're right. I mean, there are times I've watched boxing and I've seen guys in bad shape at the end.
Yeah.
Where you're worried about them genuinely. But it's a strange sport in that regard, right?
No,
because let's face it, we talk about football and we talk about safety. We talk about trying to make it safe.
Right.
And then we get to boxing and we're like, all right, this is boxing. Like, don't stand there and not throw punches.
No, I know.
Get in the middle of the ring.
Get it. This is what you signed up for. Let's go.
I know, and you put that out of your mind, and it's a weird dynamic. You almost don't want to be self-aware in the moment.
Yeah, no, you just gotta go. They signed up for this.
Yeah.
This is what they like to do for a living, and it's just that simple.
Have you been in a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Have you ever been the smaller man in a fight?
I got out of those fights. I said, I'm not fighting you. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Like, I got into a few scuffles. I got into a scuffle with a guy named Dave Ball. First, I got punked by a linebacker, Adam Haywood, in Tampa Bay once. I was messing with him, just playing with him, really. But he got mad when I touched his head. He got in my face, and I was like, okay, I won't do that again.
This is a bad idea.
Totally get it. And Dave Ball of the Tennessee Titans, he was messing around one day in the locker room. There was snow on the ground. He came in the locker room, started throwing snowballs, like ice balls around the locker room. And it almost hit somebody in the head. And I kind of went on him. I was like, I just was like, hey, Dave, that's stupid. And like, I kind of went off on him.
Oh, we can curse on this?
Yeah, we can curse on this.
How much time has been wasted?
He got very mad that I called him out on that, and he wanted to beat my ass in the locker room. And I said, no, I'm not fighting you. You're 285 pounds. That's a no-win situation. And so I got out of that. But no, I haven't been in thrown punches since college and high school. That was the last time I've in any type of scuffle.
Football
like that.
fights? Are you talking about throwing punches while people are still wearing helmets?
No, like
dumbest
idiot
thing
drunk people talking to me downtown on
yeah.
6th Street of Texas. An idiot who took a cheap shot at me at gym class in high school, who was a wrestler. I had to put him in his place. Other than that, that's the extent of my fighting career.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I don't think you really want a lengthy fighting career.
No, I did not.
I wasn't expecting you to say, like, last week I threw down with something.
No, yeah, last week I had to beat somebody's ass here at WNBC. One thing, climate change strike today. That's what happened. You know that climate strike today? I didn't send my kids to school because they're right now at the town hall doing that. I always got to bring that up because I am all about the greenery, all right, the environment, all right, and I am. So that is something I'm always kind of paying attention to. We have this belief with some people.
Oh, this is something you're looking forward to for the weekend?
Without a doubt.
Okay, I thought this had something to do with fighting and boxing.
It was worldwide climate strike day today. So I want to see, and it's from the young girl from Sweden who kind of set this all up. But that's something I'm always, if we don't talk football, I'm very aware of. I'm very environmentally conscious. And I hope everybody else is out there too.
I think that was pretty professional because you realize there's zero way to segue between boxing and climate change.
No, I just had to get
that there. So you decided just not to, just to blurt it out as if it was part of the conversation.
Exactly right. Yes.
So you're looking forward to that.
I am. I just want to see how it was received today, how many kids miss school, things like that. It's important.
It is.
And we have one faction of the world right now, or let's just say our country, who doesn't want to listen to the experts and just say, I don't believe it, or it's a hoax. And we have all the information and technology to go, no, it's not. We actually have facts. Like, we have facts to the point where New England is the best team in football. Well, we have facts that climate change is real. It's simply that simple. But we have people who try to make false narratives or argue other issues to get away from the bottom line of this is a real issue. And I will continue to bang my drum on that cause.
First off, a few things really hit me when you were talking about this. One was that when you mentioned green, I thought you were talking about something else.
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of that green, too.
Yes, and I thought that, weekend plans.
Yes, that's always part of my weekend. So exactly right.
I thought that was potential.
Thank you.
I also find it interesting that you're trying to appeal people. Like, there are facts. You can't argue them. You can't dispute that.
We have satellites in space that can show the gas in the air. It's really that simple. We know we're seeing the North Pole melt in front of our eyes. I don't understand what else. I can sit here all day.
Argument with science.
No.
Don't be angry at science.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's there to help you.
Yeah.
It really is.
I agree.
I don't know. That's strange. Okay, so weekend plans. It ends with St. Patrick's Day.
Ooh,
this is it.
Right. I forgot.
This is it. Well, we're getting older.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, you don't look forward to it quite as much. But St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And to me, few things right away. There's this temptation that you should
drink beers?
Drink beers that are green.
Right.
Or eat, you'll go to the bagel store and they're like, hey, green bagels today. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
I got Irish in my blood, and that just ain't happening.
Well, that's interesting, too. Listen.
It's just not that good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had a DNA test.
Yeah.
So
I got some Irish in there. I got a lot of Irish in there.
Well, I find it interesting that you thought you needed a DNA test to know that you're Irish.
Well, I knew I was a mutt of whiteness. I know I'm a mutt of whiteness. So, yes, I'm Irish, English, German, Dutch. Those are really my four right there.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
And you're all Maybe
more or less.
Yeah.
More or less. Right. But, yeah, I mean.
I like St. Patty's Day. I might have one beer. It's not going to be green. Maybe I'll pay homage with the other greenery once again.
Yeah. What kind of beer? Will you have a Guinness?
No, I will not. I don't know. I would probably be something weak and soft. I'm a weak beer drinker. Beer just sits in my stomach. I can't just pound them down all day long.
See, I think this is interesting because I think you're making the smart approach. Yeah. Because maybe you'll have a beer. You're not going to have a Guinness. You're not going to just decide that because it's St. Patrick's Day, you need to drink.
I got to do this.
Oh, no, listen. And I get it. Listen, if you're young, you're going to do your thing. You're going to go out there and, throw caution to the wind and who cares. But once you hit a certain age, you're drinking. You know what works for you. You know what you drink.
No doubt.
Don't decide that you should change it.
No.
I've never had Irish whiskey in my life.
Yeah. No.
Let's have a whole bunch of it and wash it down with a bunch of Guinness that I never drink.
No, exactly right. I know my limitations. I've thrown up many a times from being drunk with beer or doing something like that to where I realized, you know what, beer's not my drink. I need to move on. And then I realized really drinking's not my drink. I need to move on.
Drinking's not your drink?
Drinking's not my drink. It's a technical term.
On that one, folks. Okay, before we part here,
I guess we're done.
I guess we were told this has gone on far long enough.
Far long enough.
Far too long. regardless, either way, you are a professional looker of bodies.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Specifically men's bodies.
Yes.
We talked about Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah.
I want you to have a gaze at Errol Spence Jr.
Damn.
Who has got the physique and the abs where it looks like he was gifted with an extra ab, sort of on one side.
He's got an 8-pack.
Yeah.
It's an 8-pack.
But it's,
it's a little cockeyed and not lined up perfectly.
He's so cut that they're off. It's not symmetrical.
That's insane right there. I mean, that really is. That is like being cut up to another level. I mean, and boxers are in such phenomenal shape. I mean, not only the endurance, but then you're going to get punched in the gut all game. Like, that is crazy. Nobody's ripped like that in an NFL locker room. Nobody like that. That's another level.
DK Metcalf?
He's close.
He's close.
He's close. He definitely has more mass, but you're right.
Yeah,
he's close.
But he's pretty close.
He is pretty close. There he is. You're right. I mean, holy cow, that's still unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, it's unbelievable also because we talk about guys who don't look the part, and you don't exactly see that and scream wide receiver.
No. You think right there, you'd go, is that like a in-the-box safety?
It's
that
full
a middle
bodybuilder
linebacker?
mode,
Right.
too.
I mean, it's special.
If you did not see that and you were just listening,
right.
Errol Spence has almost like a ladder, where you're climbing up different steps of the abs because
see the
they're
muscles in his ribs.
Yeah, he's ridiculously ripped, and you don't see that in any other sport. I mean, but that fight should be awesome.
Yep, I'll be watching for sure.
All right, man.
Hey, thanks for doing this, homie.
Hey, listen, this was fun.
Good.
Appreciate it.
You're doing it next Thursday.
Have I moved up? Like, I feel like I want to see what the rankings are when I come in next week.
Well, we're gonna keep you for next Thursday, so you're coming on, whether you like it or not.
All right,
you have to.
Let's see if I crack the 25 from just like others getting votes.
Please do. And we got some good things coming on next week too. I did a really cool spot with DeAndre Hopkins in New York City. You're gonna hear that interview in its totality next week at some point. We had some fun in Washington Square Park. Got a crowd around us. Had a lot of fun with DeAndre. So I'm teasing that. He was awesome. But again, subscribe to the Chris Simms Unbuttoned podcast, youtube.com/NBCsports.com. Please subscribe so you can keep Liam and I employed.
Yes.
And download it anywhere you listen to podcasts.
We're 7 years away from Chris getting the NBC
You know
tattoo.
it.
Let's make this happen.
WNBC. Thanks, homies. Peace out. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week.